Hi, this is Matt with Inmate Search Info. Today we're going to be looking at how to find Oregon inmates. The Oregon Department of Corrections offers a searchable database of current inmates. However, before we go to the actual search, I just want to point out to you the disclaimer that the Oregon Department of Corrections has here. Most states have something similar. It's basically to say that the information that's provided is provided to the best of the ability for accuracy from the Department of Corrections, but it's not 100% guaranteed to be correct. So that information is not to be used for any kind of official purpose. That's for things like housing, for credit decisions, or for employment decisions. So don't use this information for anything that it's not intended for, which includes those things, I'm sure. Consult a lawyer, and it probably goes without saying, or should, that you're not to use this information for any kind of harassment purpose. You don't want to find yourself in these searches as a result of committing a crime of your own by misusing this information. So just something to be aware of. Obviously, if we're looking for someone, it's easy enough to do that with this search. Now, Oregon offers, as is typical with a lot of the states, searches by name or by the state ID number. If you have the state ID number, you can pop that in and get taken directly to the person that you're looking for. Otherwise, you can search by name. Now, if you try to put in a search that's too general, it's not going to work, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a sec. All right, so if I pop this last name Smith, obviously very common one in, and try to search, it's going to tell me too many results. So it's not going to let you do a very broad search. I don't know exactly why that is. Some states will give you, 50 pages of results if you like, but Oregon won't let you do that. Maybe they don't want you pulling the information for some other unintended purpose. But you can do searches by partial names, they mentioned here. If you follow the instructions, and one thing to point out as well, I should have probably mentioned already, is that they do have a pretty helpful step-by-step guide here as well to kind of explain what they have. It's pretty simple anyway. The only thing that's a little odd is this partial name search, which I'll show you in just a second again. Okay, so if you know someone by a name, maybe you're not 100% sure how it's spelled, but you know kind of what it sounds like. You maybe can do the first part of the name. You can type that part in. So in this case, we'll say it's meh or my, and you put an asterisk at the end. So if you do that, you're going to get all the results with names that start with the first two letters, and obviously last name Smith, and we'll see what we get. Now, you do have to scroll down the page, so if you are on mobile, you may not see the results on the page, but if you scroll down, you'll get the results there. So obviously they have 46 matches found. We did a pretty general search, but they will let you go through at least that many results. We've got, let's see, 10 on a page, so 5 pages to go through. And you have listed here, it doesn't sort it for you by alphabetically, doesn't appear to sort it by date of birth either. Sort of a little haphazard. So if you happen to know a middle name or middle initial, you can stick that in. I think you'd be in good shape filtering that out. But if you know the general age, even with a very common search like this, you could knock this out pretty quickly. Let's just click on one to see what we get here. So on the inmate page, you do have, it is printable if you want to print it out for whatever reason. You do have the name of the offender. This person is actually Michael Benson. So they do include results that give you aliases as well. So obviously we searched for Michael Smith. That must be an AKA for him. There we go, Mike Smith. So it is smart enough to kind of be able to give you that information. Not every state lets you or gives you results based on an alias, so that's certainly a good thing that Oregon does. They do give you, age, some demographic information, and then you have information on sentencing. So this person, earliest expected release date, 2030. You have a list of the crimes committed, and these are your docket numbers for perhaps your further investigation if you like. Some of these offenses appear to have been discharged at this point, but there are still other ones actively going on, and then that's sort of the earliest date. They don't appear to have information on parole and things like that, those kinds of dates, but you can sign up for notifications. The Vine link will give you notifications, I think either email or text, if the status changes with various dates that come up, perhaps parole dates, things like that, if that's of interest to you. Oregon does give you a link to the facility where they're located, and it's just a general page though. So we saw that was Snake River. We'll have to remember that and then click on it to get the information about that facility specifically. They don't give you a phone number here. I think they do have a general catch-all phone number or information about contacting inmates here on the top. But the assumption I guess I would have to make is that in Oregon, all of the facilities follow the same sort of policies because they're not giving you the institution-specific policies here, at least. So they, like I say, they do have information on contacting inmates, and then you can hopefully get the information that you need from there. Let's just take a look. So these are just general instructions, but they don't have. Okay, so they want you to contact your facility. Might as well go through that and see. Okay, so then finally you can get to the phone number that you like. Now, we do have this information listed on our Oregon page, so if you would like to get to that a little faster, you may be able to find it on our page, and the link is in the description below. Now, one other thing to keep in mind with the Oregon inmate or offender search is that it does not include historical data from what I've seen here. So these are all active inmates. It doesn't have past information. So if you're looking for someone that may no longer be in the system, certainly not incarcerated, if you're looking for someone that might be on parole or probation or maybe has even completed that term, it's not going to give you that information. This is all people who are currently, as far as I can tell, these are all people who are currently incarcerated. So if you're looking for a more general kind of background check, or at least a check to find someone, we do have some information on that on our Oregon page, as well as some other types of offender searches that may give you a specific address, other hints, tips, tricks, and as I mentioned, phone numbers and addresses for these facilities that might be a little easier to get to than going through all of the hoops that this DOC page wants you to go through. I think that pretty much covers it for the Oregon offender searches. Thanks so much for watching.